Welcome, I'll be reacting to Polar Express. All I know about it is that there is a train. This is not a market substitute, support the original. Be careful of that heater. Oh, yeah. We had one of those heaters when I was a kid and I would burn myself constantly. Interesting camera angles for the animation so far.
And to hold everyone's presents, his sled would have to be bigger than an ocean liner.
Well, your brother said that? Well, he was just kidding you. He knows there's a Santa.
He said he wasn't sure.
Stark, barren, devoid of life.
My parents never pretended that there was a Santa, so I knew from the beginning, but I remember other kids didn't. And when they got to a certain age, like him, they started questioning and putting the facts together. I was told, do not spoil it for anyone else. And so as a kid, I actually was the person going, no, there's totally a Santa. But I wanted them to believe in the magic a little bit longer. Is this going to be one of those, is he dreaming, is he not kind of movies? The train, the train. What a beautiful shot. The animation in this is incredible.
This year, no letter to Santa, and you made your sister put out the milk and cookies. Sounds to me like this is your crucial year. If I were you, I would think about climbing on board. Suit yourself.
I guess I'm more of an adventurous kid. I would have jumped on board. There's still time. It's not gone yet. Run. There you go. He still doesn't believe.
Tickets, please. Tickets.
But he was on the list. Oh. Oh, that was nice of him.
He was just trying to stop the train so that kid could get on.
I see. We are on a very tight schedule. And I've never been late before, and I am certainly not going to be late tonight.
He's basically the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. And they're kind of going down the rabbit hole, so I wonder if the story was vaguely inspired by Lewis Carroll.
Keep it cooking in the pot.
She just grabbed a hot chocolate for the little kid in the other car to bring to him. Those are huge mugs. Whoa. Wow. She's going to the kid.
Where you going with that?
It's for him.
She forgot her ticket. It hasn't been punched.
Hey, what are you doing? You're gonna get us all in trouble.
What? Definitely more dangerous than all the Amtrak trains I've been in. I hope he doesn't lose her ticket. Be careful, hold on to that. Oh, no. No. Of all the kids on this train, she's the one who really deserves to be on there, too. Like, she's consistently tried to help people. Beautiful. I love how we're following the ticket's journey. It's definitely a magic ticket. It's trying to get back. Like the ring to Sauron, but in a good way.
These tickets are not transferable.
No, but that was
Young lady.
really generous of him.
You will just have to come along with me.
It's right there, though. Oh, no. Not this again. You can do it. It's hard to believe this is the same person who wouldn't get on the train. Now he's full-on Indiana Jones. It's so imaginative. You better keep moving if you're going to find her, though.
Sit. Take a load off it. Hey,
No.
would you like some Joe?
Are you saying that this is all just a dream?
You said it, kid. Not me.
Oh my goodness. Jump!
And that rope is the whistle. The whistle. Wanna try it? I've wanted to do that my whole life.
Do what the engineer said. There we go. That's a lot.
I suggest we all hold on tightly.
Ah! Ah! Oh. Can they find the tracks again, though? Good thing they were out front to direct them. Oh no, the ticket! Oh, not again. Oh. That was so close. I still think it's a message of some sort.
I slid and fell, and yet I did not fall off this train.
Someone saved you?
Or something.
The ghost. The train is haunted, but in a good way.
It's a new concept the boss came up with. Instead of being thrown away, they're collected, refurbished. He calls
Recycled.
it re-bicycling, something like that.
I actually really like this concept. So Santa isn't part of all that consumerism. He's trying to bring these well-loved toys to a second life and to make children happy through that. I think that's really lovely.
You're a doubter! A doubter you don't believe!
This is a much nicer car. I'd go to this one too.
Wishing up, I guess that Santa's busy, 'cause he's never come around. I think of him when Christmas comes to town.
There's a rule that I really like to do with presents from Santa, and that's that they should never be over about $20 or so. Parents who can give their kid a new iPhone for Christmas or ridiculous presents like that, but they label them as coming from Santa, for kids whose parents can't afford that, a little $10 gift is a huge difficulty. It makes those kids feel like they did something wrong because they believe that Santa brought this other kid the iPhone and that Santa only brought them whatever it was. And one thing that parents can do is label expensive gifts as from you. Santa's should be meaningful, but not as expensive. That way, when kids are saying, "Ooh, I got this or that from Santa," the parents who weren't able to afford huge gifts aren't passing along the message that their kid is not a good kid. And I know I'm getting a little philosophical, but I think that's important. There's all kinds of silly, fun little guidelines you can do, like never wrap Santa's presents in the same wrapping paper as you use, and use different handwriting. But those are fun little things. This is more of a fundamental principle.
The herald angels sing, I never hear a sound. And all the dreams of children, once lost, will all be found.
It almost looks like the town is made out of gingerbread because of the brick. That's huge. It's very empty. Where's everyone?
Where are the elves?
They are gathering in the center of the city. That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas.
Who gets the first gift at Christmas?
He
Mrs.
will
Claus?
choose one of you.
Oh. If I was Santa, it would be Mrs. Claus because she would have to put up with so much. This is so terrible, but remember in Twilight when they went to see the Volturi to save Edward? I'm so sorry. That's just the scene I can't help thinking about with all these people in red.
No pushing!
I think she should get the present.
Dilly-dally, it's 5 minutes to midnight.
Look, you have to come with us.
She's right.
People hang decorations and lights, and then Santa comes and leaves presents under our Christmas trees.
But he doesn't for that kid.
Christmas just doesn't work out for me.
Yeah, you might want to get off the train now. Jump! I'm telling you, if there's ever a Christmas theme park, this needs to be one of the rides. Whoever wrote this loves roller coasters. Anything more intense than the Gringotts ride, and I'm out. I went on Space Mountain one time, and I was ready to kiss the ground. I was like, I'm never getting on a roller coaster ever again.
We're spinning.
Where are they going now? Get off quickly. I guess they're deep inside the North Pole now.
That's the way we should go.
I'd be like on all fours crawling. There's no way I'd try to walk across that.
Come on.
I'd also take my shoes off because they stick better that way, even though it would be cold. See what I mean? Santa's village is so cute. I like how it's all elf-sized, too.
Why can't I hear anything?
Shh.
Because you don't believe.
Number 7, Holly Greenbow.
That's not at all creepy.
Seven, though? When we're this close to lift
I guess
off,
he really does
what
see
are
you
they
when you're
doing down
sleeping.
there?
Candy cane phone.
Do it. I didn't do it.
Close.
There you go. Transportation. This whole thing needs to be a theme park. And even better, everyone has to wear their pajamas when they go. It's almost like the Space 1999 one. It's like a droid factory.
It's going to my town.
Oh no, 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 no!
Come on.
That's a lot of presents. That looks like a Target.
Give me your other hand. Give me your
Let go of the present.
I can't.
Oh, that kid.
You!
What are you doing here?
Nicely done.
It's in good hands. Trust me.
He still can't hear the bells. I wonder if they wear red all the time or just because this is a formal occasion. It's interesting because sound activates magic in a lot of traditions.
I believe.
Let's have this young fellow right here.
I wish they had gone with Billy. I feel like he deserved it more. But I'm not Santa, so that's a Christmas card shot right there.
The first gift of Christmas!
Spirit of Christmas lies in your heart.
He'll wake up from his dream and he'll be holding that. It's my prediction. That is a heavy sleigh. Lead. Yeah.
It says
Go!
He should have tied it to his robe instead of putting it in the pocket.
lost it.
Have a wonderful Christmas.
Oh, Santa came. Oh. The bell.
Really? Oh, that's too bad.
What's this?
They can't hear it.
Oh. Sorry about that, sport.
They don't believe anymore. That was a nice touch there.
Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.
Oh, it's based on a book. That makes sense. That was a really sweet movie, and I was especially impressed by the animation of the snow and the landscapes, and just how the camera angles went. It was quite impressive. I know Tom Hanks was voicing the conductor, but I think he did a couple of other roles, so I'm just going to check that. The father, the adult boy, the conductor, the hobo, the Scrooge puppet, and Santa Claus. And it looks like they did some motion capture, which is always a lot of fun as an actor. Having not read the book, I'm curious about how close it is, so if you've read the book and seen the film, let me know any changes that they made or things that you liked about the adaptation or didn't like. Clearly, this was not a holiday book that made it into our house. I knew I had to read card catalogs from the time I was very little, and so I tended to just head straight to the Dewey Decimal that I wanted, and I did not look at any of the librarian displays. I'm so sorry, librarians who spent hours deciding what books to show the kids because I ignored them. I also don't remember getting holiday books out of the library really because we had so many at home that I didn't need them. There was a whole box of books that we kept in the attic and only brought down for the holidays. And so whenever that box came down, usually after Thanksgiving, it was like, book stash. I liked the idea of the recycled, refurbished toys. I'm definitely adding that to my Father Christmas headcanon world. The bell motif was also excellent, having that running through the entire story, and then at the end, closing the whole film with everyone probably wondering, would I hear the bell? I'd like to think that I would.